She said thank you.
Oh, you know what? I got something that we can talk about.
Okay, what's that?
One of the people who lives here in Maryland and hangs out on my channel sometimes has let me mute
Okay, what's that?
the playback. I had to mute the video.
Okay.
All right, let me read you his question. He sent me a text earlier. And okay, let's see.
By the way, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry we're late. Waiting to see if anybody was going to show up. David showed up, and now we're live. So, yep.
All right, here we go. He says this person says they're trying to figure out the history on their M1 Grand. It's a 1943 Springfield Arms of November. I'm not. I guess you'll probably understand this more than I will. And then he says CMP, like Cat Michael Paul. The stock.
Yeah, the Citizens Marksmanship Program. They're the ones that sold it when it was brought back over.
All right, so I guess that's the stock that has on it. It says, oh, okay. It says the stock has a capital A of instead of the circle P on the grip. Most say it's from the Marine Corps Albany, Georgia Armory. Trying to find out how rare this rifle is. I'm only missing 2 parts to complete the 43 area. I don't know what that means. And it says the trigger group is very tight on fit. She shoots good. Question is, have you ever heard of anything about the Marine Corps M1s? Is this one from the Philippine War Theater? And then I'd have to like the butt stock. If you were pointing the gun to the ground, the A would be a capital A upside down, and if you're pointing it up to the air, the capital A would be pointing up. I can send you the picture.
I don't think it would help any. Honestly, I don't know. If it's Marine Corps, it definitely would have been Pacific. There wasn't very much from the Marines in Europe. The Marines were mostly at sorry, in the Pacific during the war. So it could have been anywhere in the Pacific that would have been used. To say if it was from the pinpoint that to the Philippines, I wouldn't be able to tell you from that.
I was thinking about forwarding it over to Squibload and see if he knew anything about it.
Yeah, there's just so many of those rifles produced. It's going to be real hard to track down exactly where it saw service unless you have some kind of provenance already in the form of a letter or something from when it was brought back, saying exactly where may have been used in a log or something. Other than that, it's going to be so hard to find out where that would have been used.
Yeah, I didn't want to break that news to him yet. I just wanted to see if I could find out a little bit of information about it. But yeah, trying to pinpoint, this was Corporal Johnson's, service rifle in 1948. That's going to be almost impossible.
Yeah, I mean there's going to be some records, but not every rifle's records are going to probably still be in existence. And the fact of the matter is, that could have been issued to some guy who went from Guadalcanal to Iwo to Okinawa. So it could have been used in all three of those. It could have been used in none of those. It could have been a reserve rifle that had never actually made it into combat. There's absolutely no. It's going to be so hard. I don't want to say there's no way to find out for sure, but it's going to be so hard as to be next to impossible, depending on what records that we will be able to find on it.
Yeah.
If he had some kind of documentation that came with the rifle, that would make it a lot easier. But if all he has is the rifle itself, and you're just trying to go off of what markings are on that rifle, it's going to be extremely hard.
He lives on kind of more on the Eastern Shore. I'm not too sure if he's across the Bay Bridge or not, but he's definitely down in that area. And Wednesday he's going to be in my area. And if it works out, we're going to meet up at the range that I go to. So I'll be able to ask him about it then. And maybe if he's got it, take him more detailed pictures.
If it's a CMP rifle, there's gonna make it that much harder because it wasn't a war bringback or anything like that.
Yeah.
This could have been. This could have been. It could have been in the Philippines, sitting in a warehouse somewhere. It could have been in Korea, sitting in a warehouse somewhere. There's just no way to really know.
Yeah.
That's one of the bad things. I mean, he's got a good rifle. If it's marked 1943 and it's November, it definitely was in the Pacific Theater at some point. Who used it and where? I don't know.
All right. Maybe it'll turn out to be like General Patton's gun or something like that.
Well, that would have been Europe.
Well, yeah. That's just the first name that popped in my head. Jason Stewart just joined us. What's up, Mr. Jason?
How's it going out there, folks? Let's see who got out there right now. Look, we got Clay out there, local 223, Travis T, Vanessa Kitty, Ozzy, you, of course, Jason Stewart, and Travis T again, because what the hell, he just popped up, so I said his name again.
Where'd you see local at? I didn't see local.
He was up there before the first Travis T. He was right underneath me, whatever. He retracted whatever he had said. So that was around 7 after 8 where he said something. So.
Did you do anything fun today? Anything interesting?
I played DC Universe Online for a little bit.
Is that like fighting, like a fighting game, like a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter?
It's a multiplayer RPG based on DC Comics Universe.
Oh, okay.
Since you have people on there and my family answer people better. When it comes to a speech or story or article you're writing, how do you feel about people throwing in random crap for shock value? Or facts just for the sake of shock value?
They shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, somebody basically just told me in their thing about my outline that I should include something about the system bullying shit in my speech just for shock value to get the point across.
Language, Brittany. I'm gonna have to mute my daughter over here.
The problem with doing things for shock value is you better be able to accept the shock. If you say something to try to get a reaction out of somebody, you better be ready for their reaction. That's for sure.
Yes, and you should not be doing that in a report or paper for your university classes. That is not appropriate. When I was taking classes, if somebody did that, they lost points. You can't be going for sensationalism in a college paper.
It's for persuasive speech. I feel it would distract from the point more than it would help.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot more effective way, especially as far as being humane about it. There's so more effective ways to draw information out of people or draw a reaction out of people without being incendiary.
Exactly.
And what are you doing homework for? I thought you were supposed to cheat when you do your schoolwork. That's what the computer's for.
No, I was asked since you would do the discussions and whatnot, you would have a better understanding of something supposed to be presented as a speech or to an audience.
What are you doing over there, Rich? Are you raising a family that studies and thinks and uses logic and understanding to figure stuff out? What's that all about?
Yeah, I don't want to.
CPS right away.
I don't have a bunch of snowflakes running around this place.
I'm calling CPS right away.
Well, we actually have a gun-related question out there in the chat from Jason Stewart. He wants to know best caliber for the most penetration power, 1,000 yards or less in an AR platform. I would say 300 Blackout if you're going high velocity would be a good one, or 6.5 Grendel.
Yeah, a guy at the range today had a 6mm precision Ruger, And I imagine less than 1,000 yards, that's going to do the job.
Within 100 rounds, yeah, that's what I would do. I would go with a 300 black. 300 blackout's very versatile too. So, and you could, if you wanted, you could suppress it easy and whatnot.
Yeah, is he looking for a big bore, or is he just looking for any type of round? Period.
No, he said an AR platform. Both 300 and 6.5 Grendel can be done in an AR-15. You don't have to go AR-10 for either one of those. So you're going to have more availability of parts. You don't have to worry about whether your two halves of receiver are going to mate up properly or any of that nonsense that you would have with the AR-10. So, I mean, 308's a great round too, but then you're looking at AR-10, and if you don't know what you're looking for, you can end up with the situation where you have a upper receiver that doesn't mate properly to your lower receiver, and yeah, if I was going to do something in like what he was asking about, I would go 300 or 6.5 Grendel.
I mean, what's wrong with 5.56?
Well, he's asking best caliber for most penetration power at a 5.56 is 5.56 is good. I'm not the biggest 5.56 fan, to be honest, even though the one AR I have is in that caliber.
Well, you also, I mean, if you're at 50 yards shooting at something with a 5.56 or a 2.23 or less, you got a lot of chance of just zipping right through whatever you're shooting to.
Mm-hmm. You could do you could do 458 SOCOM too.
Yeah, I like that round. I can't afford it, but I like it.
Yeah, the thing is the round that's what I was going to get to. With 458 SOCOM, you're going to be paying more for round unless you're reloading. 458 SOCOM's not cheap.
Why doesn't Jason just hop on the panel and talk to us?
I don't have his email to send him a link.
I'll send him a link. You want to hop on, Jason? Say if you want to link, say something in the chat, and I'll shoot it to you.
Yeah, David can forward you a link. I got no problem with that. I was hoping Blind Grillin would have showed up. He said he would come on the panel if I sent him a link.
He's a blind guy. He probably can't see the controls. He's friends with Patriot. Patriot was out in the chat. I don't know if he's still listening. I'm just teasing him.
Black Cat, you got a link, man. What's wrong with you? Quit doing stuff around the house.
All these people's priorities are messed up.
I know, right? This is more important than doing stuff around his house. Jason says give him 5 minutes.
All right, well, I'll email him the link if he wants in. Hey, Rootpan.
Nice.
Yo, what's up, Kingpin? What's up, Rich? Thanks for the link.
Were you listening to what we were just talking about?
What were you talking about?
Okay, Jason Stewart out there asked, what's the best caliber for the most penetration power, 100 yards or less in an AR platform?
I'm going to tell you right here. Now, I'm going to say best budget because it's not like a fancy round. But using this guy right here, this is 7.62 by 39. And I did not save the targets, but I took photos of them. But I think I was getting a 1-inch group out of this upper. It's a DI upper. 7.62 39. Love it.
Yeah. See, now, I think in an AR, I love 7.62 by 39. Okay. My favorite my favorite com block round. I would not want to do it in an AR. If I was going to do an AR, I would do 300 blackout because you can get similar performance and you have a more versatile round for the AR platform itself. AK, SKS, I'm going 7.62 by 39 all day.
Well, my problem is I already have a crap load of AK bullets, so I gotta buy a whole new caliber and then start stocking up on a whole new caliber when I can just buy. I already have like loads of. I have like a couple thousand rounds. 7.62 39.
I got a bunch of 7.62 by 39 around here too. I still would go 300 blackout over 762 by 39.
Yeah, so that's something that happened with me. Is I was going to buy a 300 blackout. I was like, okay, here we go. I'm buying a 300 blackout. I'm buying a 300 blackout, and then I ended up buying a 7.62 and a 9 mil. So I was going to buy a 300 blackout, and I ended up with 2 other ARs. So this is just a 9 mil blowback. It didn't work at all at first, and then it started working amazing. So Angstat arms, and this is a KM tactical upper.
Mm-hmm.
There's a serious problem with this upper. There's no deflection, case deflection. I'm already forgetting the name of this. How the
shell deflector?
Yeah, because here we go. I don't know if let me turn it around to my face here. You guys can see my my happy ass right there. See those rings right there?
Did you get yourself scoped?
No, those are 7.62 bullets.
Oh, just
Yeah,
shoot back in your
do
face.
that. Yeah.
Well, you're a lefty, though, aren't you?
Yes, I'm shooting lefty, and then there's where the bullets went after they hit my face. They went down in my arm. So
Yeah.
I didn't try to move them quickly.
I assume you don't have a brass catcher?
No, there's no. That's what the word I'm looking for. There's no brass deflector on this. So the bullets just come.
Case deflector.
Yeah.
Case deflector.
So the 9 mil, it's not as much of a problem, but I get so much gas in my face with this 9 mil. I had to shoot it righty because it's just so much was coming in my face.
Gas come from where the charging handle or the
port right
ejection port?
The ejection port. Just blasting me right in the face. I had to just shoot lefty, which I was very surprised.
There's a simple fix if it would have been the from the charging handle. Just get yourself some JB Weld Insta I can't think of the word I'm looking for now. The God damn it. The stuff that makes a rubber feel, I can't think of the name of it. Off the top of my head, I'm drawing a total blank. Gasket. Instant gasket.
Instant gasket, and, yeah.
Yeah, and hold your can you hold that up so we can see the
this one?
Yeah, hold that up so we can see the top of the where the charging handle fits with the rifle. You could, since I don't have my AR handy. Okay, you see right there where the charging handle fits into the receiver, right?
Yep.
You take the liquid gasket, you put it down in there, you let it dry. You take a small little razor blade, put it right up against the receiver, right there where your rail comes back, and see what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, where it rounds off there.
Yeah, you stick the razor blade down in there, right on top, right. Yeah, right. Now go back over to the rail. Go back over. Yeah, right there. You put it right there, right against the end of the rail there, right there at the end where the receiver and the charging handle meet up, and you cut that rubber, and you form a gasket, and it keeps the gases from blowing back in your face from there.
Yeah, no, when I shot it righty, when I shot the 9 mil righty, I didn't get any gas in my face at all, really. So,
do you find that there's most uppers are made for left-handed shooters, or is there right-handed shooter uppers out there in abundance?
You want to do this, Rich? You go.
Yeah, when the AR was designed, they were all designed for right-handed shooters. One of the reasons why they put the shell deflector on the AR where they put it was to facilitate it being used by left-handed shooters. That's why that's there. The rounds pop out and they fly off to the right instead of coming straight back into your face, which is what Rutan was happening.
Now, this didn't happen at all. With the BRN 180, absolutely none of the brass went in my face. I'm actually a righty, but I'm left eye dominant. So, what's up, Jason?
Do you ever try sitting behind your gun instead of beside it?
I was trying so hard to sit behind the 9 mil because it just was blasting me in the face.
I like that color, Phil.
Yeah. Hi, Jason. Nice to have you on the show.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Jason.
So you want to go into a little more depth of what you were wanting to know out there on the YouTube chat, since you're in here now, you can get a better idea of what you were wanting to know?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what would be a good caliber where I could just get a upper and keep the lower that I got. Something that just is more powerful. Something that just hits hard.
Okay, so you're wanting something more powerful that's going to hit harder than what 5.56 would.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if you're not worried about the finickiness of the 7.62x39, or you could go with 300 blackout, which would be a little bit more versatile than what the 7.62x39.
Or 6.8 SPC too, right?
Yeah. No, is that one AR-15 or is that AR-10?
That's AR-15.
Okay, and you could do the 6.5 Grendel. You could do 458 SOCOM.
Yeah.
But then if you're not reloading, that's going to cost you a fortune in ammunition. What's the other one? 450 Bushmaster?
Yeah. Or someone was shooting like 350 Legend the other day. That might have been an AR-10 platform.
I think that's a new one that they just came out with, if I remember right. But yeah, But again, that's being new, and I think that's proprietary to a certain manufacturer. That's going to cost you a small fortune as well, probably for ammo.
Yeah.
But if you want something that's going to be inexpensive, relatively inexpensive, 300 blackout, 6.5 Creed, not Creed Morph, that would be AR-10. 6.5 Grendel, which you can get cheap steel case ammo for that, or the 7.62x39.
What's the difference in that 6.5? Difference between the Grendel and the other ones?
Okay, 6.5 Grendel is 6.5x39. It's essentially a 7.62x39 case neck down to a 6.5 bullet. So you're going to get a little bit more velocity out of that than you would from your standard 7.62x39 round.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like I said, Jason, I went with the 9mm and the 7.62x39. And now what you can do is you can get a Mean Arms. I don't have the mag out here right now, but they make a mag that is feed lips for a 9mm. So you can use a 9mm upper and a regular lower.
Huh.
So I can go get it. It's somewhere in the other room.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different adapters for the AR-15 for 9mm. You can get adapters that will let you use 9mm Colt mags, 9mm HK mags, 9mm Glock mags.
What are you shooting, Jason?
I just not really shooting anything, just to have.
Okay.
Play around in the yard with, but just something that was different. Something that wasn't 5.56, you know what I mean?
Now, I like this because obviously I stated earlier, the ammo, I already have it, so I don't even care. Like I got 2 AKs, so I already had loads of ammo, and it was an easy choice to go with it. And I threw it on this lower and rolled with it. So I had a couple malfunctions with this KM Tactical, and then I cleaned it, and then no malfunctions today. I probably put 60 rounds through it. I brought all the stuff I brought with me today. So way too much. But I zeroed everything. So I have photos in my phone of the targets. So.
Yeah. Man, those are some scary looking rifles.
They're all black. Oh no.
Yeah, I think I should come and confiscate them from you, brother.
Yeah. I wouldn't want you to get in trouble. You just mail it to my house.
First thing, before we confiscate them, we'll have to take them all to the range and see how they work.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. This has a lot less recoil than the AK. This one right here. This guy has, now, it might be because the AR isn't gassed as much, because this has the AR bolt with the gas rings on it. So I think they have a lot less gas coming back to kick the bolt back. And then on top of that, it's a linear system where there's a what is it? The bolt is kind of like the piston on the AR, where the gas comes back and it comes down and it pushes, and so it's kind of linear.
Yeah, that's the thing about the AR. Everybody calls it a direct impingement rifle. It really isn't.
Yeah,
it's a direct impingement would be like the Hakim, where you actually have the gas that's directly impinging on the bolt carrier. with the AR-15, it's the gas is not. You got a bolt carrier laying there.
Yeah, I'm pulling it out right now.
You see the gas key on top, right? That's not actually part of the bolt carrier. That's a piece that bolts to the bolt carrier. That's the part that the gas interacts with. So when you fire it, the gas comes back. It hits that gas key. It goes down into the bolt itself, which then pushes the bolt back. The bolt is actually a combination bolt carrier and piston. That it is a piston. It is a hybrid piston-driven rifle.
Yeah, we're getting there. There we go. So you can see all the carbon is back here. Now the gas comes through here, comes down, and then it pushes. See those gas? Those are the gas rings right there. So it pushes right there. That pushes this back, and then the excess gas vents out these holes. So that's kind of like the vent holes you usually see, like right here on AKs.
Yeah,
that's kind of like that. And yeah, so that's the only reason, because this gun is soft recoiling. It's not 5.56 soft, but it's pretty soft. And I'm shooting this. I'm trying to get good groups with this. I had some Hornady black ammo or something, or whatever company makes a black ammo, and I'm like taking my time and trying to get real precise shots and make sure my breathing's right. And I'm still kind of like throwing them little. I grabbed this guy with this lower, and I'm like easy putting like a 1-inch group at 100, easy, like just. This also has the
BRN 180.
Oh yeah, these groups were even better. I had a little problem at first because I usually shoot 223 55 grain because I'm cheap, and I went over to set some 77 grains. I fired a couple 77 grains through it, and after that, firing a little more, it started working fine. I was having problems where the bolt wasn't coming far enough back to strip the next round, but it stopped after a couple mags. It was fine.
And it probably just had to wear itself in.
Yeah. So really happy with this. If you're looking for just something different to be a weirdo, I kind of wish it had an original handguard up here and not. I mean, I get it. It's great. I mean, like I said, the accuracy was amazing. Definitely way better than any AR 180 probably ever was, but because this is what aluminum up here and not stamped steel. But if you're looking to spend money for an upper, this was awesome. So, but this is fun too. This is obviously a budget one from KM Tactical. It's not, it's good, but it's not, Gucci or anything like that. And I even went with the cheapest scope they had at Walmart just for fun to see how bad this could be. And this scope was actually not bad. It's not as good as, the Vortex or the Primary Arms ones I have, but it worked fine. So there you go, budget build right here, budget upper. It's like 300 and something bucks for the upper, maybe 340 or 360 maybe on Gunbroker with the charging handle, not this charging handle, but a charging handle and a bolt carrier group. It's like 3 something. This scope was 80 something at Walmart. Boom, there you go. And the mount, this is an NC Star crap mount, so that was like $20. So you can, what is it, $400, maybe $430 or something with shipping. You can have this exact setup, and be dicking around with ammo that you already got made potentially. So, but I do agree with Rich. If you want to go with something cool, guy, then you can go with a nice, little more expensive 300 blackout, and you might be able to push a little better accuracy, maybe a little better everything. But I went with this.
Yeah. Yeah, with the 300 blackout, you have a much wider range of ammunition you can use because you can get subsonics much easier than you could with the 7.62 by 39.
Mm-hmm.
You could get high velocity stuff. I mean, the 300 blackout is a really versatile round.
I was using the cheapest stuff that I had. I had like some boxes that were like, someone ever gives you a box of ammo, they're like, oh, here you go, man, here's some ammo. And you look at it, and it's like, the box is older than me.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd you find this, man? Did you find this in someone's basement? But
Yeah,
yeah, so it ate all the steel case fine, and the brass case it ate it fine. So, but yeah, I do agree. So I live in a state where I can't legally own a suppressor. So I don't. That whole suppressor 300 blackout thing, I could care less. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to have one, of course, and all that stuff. But as far as my situation, this just made more sense. So,
What's the normal length barrel for that 300 blackout? Is it still 16 or?
Yeah, you can get anywhere between 8-inch to 16-inch barrels easy for a 300 blackout.
I've heard you only need a 7-inch barrel for like a complete burn on the bullet. So if you could do a pistol, if you can do those in your state, it would make sense.
Yeah, pistol, you could easily hit 100 yards with a 300 blackout in pistol configuration. You can do that with a 5.56 in the pistol configuration. I still prefer the 10-inch barrels in even if it's a 300 blackout, but you can go with like a 7-8 inch. Yeah, the 8-inch is more common. Now, if you're going to build one with a 300 blackout, you're going to want a pistol gas system for it because of gas dwell times and everything. Whereas with the 5.56, you want the longest length gas system you can get for what you're building. Like if you're doing a 10.5-inch pistol, you want a carbine gas system on there, not a pistol gas system. With 300 blackout, it's the opposite.
I have that Brownell. It's like a 605 or something. It's got the rifle gas system with a 15-inch barrel. Yeah. That's the thing that Ian was using and Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah, I agree with Rich. That was the answer. So yeah, geeked out today, but it depends what you want. Yeah, it makes a better investment would probably either go with 300 black, but for me, the 7.62 by 39 was an easy choice.
Well, the thing that I would vote probably on the 7.62 because then you can also just get an AK. If you buy a 300 blackout, if you buy a 300 blackout, then you're stuck shooting it pretty much out of that one gun. You're buying ammo for that one gun. Well, yeah, I mean you could do all that, but then if you change the upper, then technically you've got another gun. It's a different gun. I know it's.
Well, no, the gun's the lower. The gun's the lower, not the upper.
I know. I'm trying to parse through some technicalities and make my point sound as smart as I think it should.
300 blackout. That's pretty powerful. I mean,
yeah, your standard 300 blackout round is very similar ballistically to a 7.62 by 39. But you cannot if you plan on never getting a can for it, you can get subsonic ammo very easily for that too. And then if like for home defense, you get an 8-inch 300 blackout pistol. You put a can on there. That 300 blackout subsonic round coming out of that can is still going to hit with the force, depending on who you ask, between a 45 ACP and a 357 Magnum. And you're not going to have to worry about your hearing if you were to use it for a home defense weapon, that is.
Well, sometimes we got coyotes. Well, not sometimes. We got coyotes all summer long.
Yeah.
I was always scared to take a shot with 5.56. I just thought it would maybe go too far, or I'm in tight with neighbors,
Yeah. 5.56 is a good coyote round. It really is. But you could definitely take coyote with a 300 blackout. People have taken deer with 300 blackout.
Well, the last coyote I took, I did it with a 22 long rifle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's possible too. But yeah, as far as there's for coyote, there's all kinds of different.
That was it. The mass shooter in Washington, that kid who stole the Ruger 10/22. And when he had one BX-25 mag and he killed 5 people, that shit still blows my mind. But yeah, I'm just saying it as far as like the lethality of 22 long.
But as far as coyote guns, the reason why I have an AR-15 is because of coyote. And somebody asked me, what do you need an AR-15 for? And I've said this many times. I've said it on this chat before. Coyotes. You ever walk through the forest and come across a pack of hungry coyotes? There's why you need an AR-15.
Where we used to live, our little dog, the idiot that she was, chased a few out from our yard.
Yeah, and it depends. Like if there's a coyote at the horizon line on a hill, you're just gonna have to let that coyote live another day. If you're concerned about your 5.56 over penetrating, but if you're standing on your back porch and there's a coyote, 100 yards away, you're most likely going to be aiming down on it anyway. I don't really think the round's going to travel to where. I mean, plus you're competent with your firearm. You know where you can point your gun and where you can't. But I think the 5.56 would definitely help.
Now, I was running steel at 165 with this guy easily. 115 grain crap ammo. Running the steel at 165 yards.
That's a 9mm one?
Yeah, 9 mil. All day. I at first I thought it wasn't going to be.
Yeah,
I've shot a couple.
Oh, sorry, Rupen. Go ahead, brother.
No, you finished. What's Philo saying?
Oh, he was saying that the 17 HMR is good for coyotes in crowded areas.
Yeah, but you're not going to use 17 HMR in an AR platform rifle.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Philo was in here when the question was asked. He's specifically talking about for an AR platform, Philo.
Sorry to interrupt, Rupan. My bad.
No, you're good, man. So, yeah, 165 making shots, and bringing the steel. So I don't know how powerful it is at 165, but I was able to get this. I can't really see red dots, so I was able to get it good enough. But it's definitely an option. It's super lightweight. It doesn't have a gas system because it has it's a blowback bolt, so it just blows back. And this Angstad Arms comes with a bolt hold open. Of course, I Gucci'd out the grip here. The grip has a Glock 26 mag in it that pops out when there's bullets in it.
Man, that's cool.
So this is definitely, I don't know how you feel with shooting coyotes with 9mm, but cheap 115 grain was definitely doing the job.
Yeah, no, 9mm will take out coyote. There's no question about that. I've seen people take deer with a 9mm carbine. So
we know someone who's taken deer with a 1911.
No. That's good swivel break. He shot it with his rifle. It didn't die, so he went all Corey Feldman from Friday the 13th Part 3 on him. Die! And he shot instead with the 1911 instead with the machete. But yeah,
Me, myself, and Irene.
I just think honestly that's an awesome story, and when he tells it, it's an awesome story to hear. So
Yeah.
Making fun of him aside, it's a cool story.
Yeah.
Mag dumping 1911 to kill the deer.
Get off my lawn. So you're gonna have to make a decision, Jason, because we put 3 calibers on the table. We put 300 black, 9mm, 7.62, 39.
We also did 6.5 Grendel.
Yeah, we need some return for our investment, so you got to answer that question right now.
I think he sold me on 300 black.
Yeah, any one of those 4 rounds will do the job. So it just depends on what you're willing to spend.
Now, CMMG makes a 45 ACP pistol.
Yes,
so
45. That is another option.
And
you can do 45 ACP in an AR as well. You could do 40 Smith & Wesson in an AR. I mean,
with with the 45 ACP, you can run the can all day long too.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have to buy 300 black ammo. He just buys 45 ACP ball ammo and still be subsonic.
Yes, but subsonic 45 out of a can isn't going to hit as hard as what the 300 blackout through the can would.
Yeah, that's another option though.
Yeah, there's multiple different options. 300 blackout would be the way I would go if you don't want 5.56. Yeah.
How many rounds does your 30 round magazines hold when you go to that 300 black?
Well, if Travis P11, Travis P11 got a 300 blackout magazine, so I'd imagine that the 30 rounder would hold 30. But as far as the 300 and the 5.56, I couldn't answer that question.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 300 blackout still with 30 round mag. So. And I believe the Grendel would be as well. Now, if you go up to like a 458 SOCOM, then you're not going to get as many rounds. But I
think you say that SOCOM is just too expensive to deal with, though, right?
Yeah. You could do 458 SOCOM, 500 Beowulf, or 50 Beowulf, whatever. But those rounds are so expensive. Just take that right off the table unless you got a buttload of money.
Yeah, well, we won't go that route. I was wanting to get like an upper and use the lower off the AR that I already have.
Yeah, and Travis T and and Travis T and Nene are confirming. Yeah, they would both be a 30 round magazine still for 300. So Philo said it too. Sorry, Philo, I didn't see you answer at first, but yeah, their 300 blackout will still be 30 rounds.
Cool.
Now you could use a standard 5.56 mag, but they also make 300 blackout specific mags as well. Big Magpul does that because there was some people were having issues with 300 blackout and 5.56 Magpul mags or something, so they came out with one that's actually marked 300 blackout. But if you have like a steel or aluminum mil-spec mag, 300 blackout will work just fine.
That's cool. Here's another option. This is what I was telling you about. This is the 9mm mag from Mean Arms, and they put it inside of the P mag, and it gives you the mags right here, and it gives you the feed lips and the ejector right here. Got a little chewed up the last time I used it, but so you stick this in a regular AR, and then you can run 9mm. So
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now it didn't. This was not working for me, and I had to like work on the firing pin channel a little. This had some like crap from production in the firing pin channel, so it didn't work really at all the first time I took it out. But today it was flawless. But I forgot to bring this with me to test, so it's kind of cool. But 9mm go in there, and if you take the mag out before the last round is fired, it's not going to eject. So you gotta. But yeah, I mean that's cheap. So then you just buy the upper, and then you just throw this in there, which I think was $30. I think it was $30. Or if you have a P mag, you can just buy the insert and throw it in yourself. So, but yeah, I do agree. If you're in a 300 black, would probably be the best move, but. If you're looking for something else, you can get silly.
Okay, you can get super silly with building an AR with different caliber options out there. Between pistol and rifle calibers, there's a lot of different choices to make.
Yeah, I'm just having fun. So, like I said, it was either buy a 300 black upper or go insane like I did with all this stuff. And I decided the latter option.
If you have one company that's doing ringless 450, 5570 for an AR. So There's definitely some crazy things out there as far as AR calibers and whatnot.
That sounds really expensive.
Yeah, it's a proprietary round. 4570 rimless. There's only one company that makes it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anybody, you got any other questions you want to know, Jason?
No, that's pretty cool. I'm going to check into it. Maybe look at PSA or something. That'd be a good place for an upper. Buy the best barrel they got.
Yeah, we got a few different options as far as manufacturer and whatnot. So I want to see something real quick here. The place where I got my 5.56 upper for my pistol, sometimes they'll have their stuff marked down, and they're good quality stuff. They use like FN barrels and whatnot. I probably paid less for that than what Rupan paid for his 9mm. I'm looking to see what they got. Let's see, where is it? I'm losing my mind here. I'm not losing my mind. This is
Right. If I could have bought from PSA, I would have, but they won't ship to my state.
Yeah, they won't ship to Massachusetts.
Nope.
How much did you pay for your 7.62x39 upper?
It was 3 something on Gunbroker.
Yeah,
KM.
Guns. That's where I got my 5.56 upper. They have the 10.5-inch pistol barrel for 7.62x39 for $300.
Oh yeah, my upper came complete. I didn't build it. I usually build my
complete
stuff.
upper. Yeah, this is a complete upper.
All right.
They sell complete uppers, bolt carrier. He gets bolt carrier, charging handle, the whole works. And they said they use FN barrels in their stuff, so you're getting a good barrel. Yeah, $250 for a 10.5-inch pistol barrel and 300 blackout. That's a good price for one of those. And they got an 11.5-inch barrel 9mm for $280.
Nice.
And it's all M-LOK too, M-LOK rails.
Oh yeah, I got stuck with the key mod.
Yeah, mine's key mod. I got it before M-LOK became the big thing that it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, they just. Well, I mean, if you're talking about like stress stuff, there's a higher stress concentration factor if you do the math for the key mod. Yeah. But I mean, are you like jumping and rolling down gulches and stuff, and
no.
screaming and yelling and doing crazy wild man shit? Then you're probably fine.
That sounds a lot like my everyday. So
let me screen share this. People have screen shared on live chats for things without getting in trouble before. Even in screens. Okay. But yeah. Where were we? See, here's the 10.5-inch M-LOK in 300 blackout.
Well, somebody
comes with your bolt carrier and charging handle. Has your standard bird cage flash suppressor on the front there. You got your M-LOK rails on the sides, and on top is you got your full length rail on top.
So, but I'd have to have a pistol brace for that, right?
Yeah, you get a pistol brace for it, and you get something like the
I mean, just to be legal, you know what I mean? Because it's a short barrel.
Yeah, you wouldn't put a stock on there. You would put a brace, but the SBA3, the Tailhook Gen 2, or the soon released SBA4, they're all adjustable stocks. I mean, not stocks, braces, and they're just about as good as a stock. I mean, they really are. I have an SBA3 on my AR-15.
SBA3?
Yeah, the SBA3. Hold on. I'm going to go grab my AR real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
You know who Travis P11 is, Jason?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just been getting in the 300 blackout as well, so he's got a bunch of cool information out there for you too.
Yeah, I think I saw those last couple of weeks. He didn't have a brace on it. He just had a tube sticking out the back.
Yeah, I think he's got the brace now.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you need a lower classified as a pistol in
Yeah,
order to do that.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't take my rifle bottom and throw a change the brace and the upper on it and make it a pistol legally.
No, yeah, I think you can only make a pistol a rifle legally, but not the other way around.
Right.
We can
Yeah.
ask Rich.
Okay, I'm back. What was the question?
You can't put a brace on a rifle.
Yeah, you can.
lower.
You can put a brace on a rifle, or it's just you can't put but you can't turn it into a pistol. You couldn't put a pistol upper on a lower if it's registered as a rifle. If it was put that.
So I should just build a whole new pistol now, right?
If it's registered, if the lower is registered as a rifle, you can't build it into a pistol.
Yeah, if
But-
it's on your 4473 as a rifle, you cannot make it a pistol. Doing
But what
so
if
would make it an unregistered SBR.
What if it's registered as a pistol? Can you turn it into a rifle after that? As long as
Yes.
you don't go SBR.
If it's registered as a pistol or other, you can turn it into whatever you want.
Well, that's just a dumb law.
Yes, it is. Okay, let me stop this screen sharing. Turn my camera on. Here's the SBA 3. You see?
You got to present yourself. There you go.
Oh, shoot. I knew I forgot. Oh, see if it'll let me present myself.
I
There
could
we
just be quiet.
Yeah, no, there we go.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just won't let me clip it or click it. But yeah, see, it goes up and down just like you would with your standard AR brace. You click, stock. Right there's your adjustment point. It has 5 points of adjustment. And if you look on the back, this is much more solid than your standard pistol brace is. Even though this is still the rubberized, it's much more solid than what the other SB Tactical ones are. And this up here is solid plastic.
Now it still has to be like a shorter length of pull than a rifle, right?
Yeah, it's up to 13 inches. This is a 12. They kept this at a 12-inch, which is why it's 5 points of extension. They could have done 6, but then it would have been skirting at 13-inch. So they didn't do that. Now, to put that in comparison to a standard SB Tactical brace, this one is much more rubbery. See how that's flopping around?
Uh-huh.
The other one, the SBA 3, is much firmer than this one because it's the rubber's like smaller in section.
Now Jason could still get like a 10-inch barrel, but then just like pin and weld a long muzzle brake or something, and then just leave it that way, and then use it on the rifle. Like Misha did that recently with one of his SIG pistol.
Hold on, my nose is just super itchy right now.
He welded
I went upstairs to grab my AR and something just started bugging the hell out of my sinuses and shit.
Yeah, Misha has one of those 7.62 SIG rifle pistols there. It's a pistol, and he didn't like it with the brace, so he ended up just welding on like a barrel extension to meet the 16 inches.
Yeah, I don't. That's just pointless. I mean, if you don't like the brace, don't use it with the brace. But there's different braces out there too. I mean, you get the tail hooks; they're solid. Either the tail hook mod 1 is a solid piece of aluminum, and the mod 2 is solid polymer. They're not even rubber, like what the SB Tactical ones are. I mean,
I don't know. Misha's blind. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Have you seen Misha go?
Is he totally blind? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's totally
Or
blind. He did it.
He's totally blind.
He's totally blind. He used to be able to see like some colors and a couple things a while ago, but then I really like his channel. I like some of his newer content lately. It's like sometimes you almost question if he's blind because he's filming the whole thing and he's blind. He does a really good job filming it. So sometimes I forget that he's like blind completely.
I couldn't remember if he was totally blind or if he was just legally blind.
Yeah, no, he says he's totally blind, and I don't know if it was on his private channel. He's got a private Misha channel now. It's not private, but it's separate. I've been drooling at some of the stuff that he has, man. He had the G36, and he had the T36. I tried to buy one of those. My gun shop was like, no, I can't get it. No, and then like they were sold out in like 30 seconds anyways.
Did you see his April Fool's video this year?
Oh no, what was it? I missed it.
They were getting sponsors from energy drinks.
Oh man.
His facial expressions when he's sipping this stuff are priceless. Because they had like, I think it was six or seven, maybe 8. I don't remember. They had a bunch of different ones, right? And they're like him and
Jay.
the guy who does this video whose name I can't remember right now.
Jay, I think.
Yeah, that's it. They're doing like taste tests with him, and Misha's facial expressions were just priceless. You can tell he is absolutely not enjoying those energy drinks.
Nice, yeah. It's a great channel, man. I drool at the stuff that he's got. But yeah, especially again, I'm bringing that up that T91 or no, not T91. The T36, the new G36 thing that Atlantic Firearms did. I don't know. I'm probably way better off with this BRN 180, but
there's so many cool guns I would love to have. Did you see the one that InRange just did, where Carl was comparing the Gewehr 43 to the Gewehr 41?
Yeah, that was cool.
I would love to have either one of those rifles.
Yeah. The what was it? Yeah, it was pretty good. Carl does some pretty good stuff. He was saying in a recent Q&A that like, oh, I would love to do movie like debunk movies, like dumb things that happen in movies that they make, like, you know, just like war movies. I would love to debunk them, but I can't because we can't show the clip. And in my head, I was like, he has to show the clip. Like you can't.
Well,
like,
yeah, they could. It's just when YouTube strike, it's YouTube's rule. It's not the law.
Yeah,
they
no,
could, because Hollywood Weapons does it every episode.
You're allowed. You have to be very careful with the fair use notice to have in your description of your video that it's a critique. And there's a couple other little keywords that you got to make sure that you put in, and then you're still limited to being able to play a full level. But the problem with even with the fair use notice, and it's happened to a couple of people that do like politics news that I watch, you got to be careful of the actual, say, you know, Smith and Wesson, or you know, what's the guy that does the Star Wars movie, Bruce Springsteen? What's his name? The guy who does Star Wars.
Spielberg,
yeah, Steven Spielberg. You got to worry about. You got to worry about them putting a copyright suit on you because YouTube can't really do nothing about that.
Well, I mean, my point is, we're all geeks that are watching the content anyways. For somewhat, I mean, maybe I don't speak for everybody, but if he goes, "Oh, Saving Private Ryan at 38 minutes and 40 seconds at this scene when this guy uses this rifle and does this," like that would be more than enough for me. Like, I don't know. Like, I would. To me, like he could just describe it quick, and I would be like, "Oh, I'll go watch it real quick," or I don't know. So to me, I would love to see them debunking stuff, anyways, and I don't need it to be like, you know, spoon fed to me if they have a problem or they think there's going to be a problem with it.
Have you guys ever watched Hollywood Weapons?
No.
It's like Mythbusters, right? But they test different gun things from movies and TV shows.
Oh, me.
Like one episode was just Quigley Down Under that they did.
Oh, really?
Which was kind of cool. Remember the shot in Quigley where he's like 800 yards away and he takes out two guys with one bullet? They tested that on there, and yeah, that with the rifle he was using, that would be possible.
That's cool.
And he did it in the first shot too. They thought he missed, right? So he took a second shot, and they go down range and they find two holes in both dummies.
Nice. You watch 9-hole reviews at all?
No, I haven't seen that.
They do like anybody else? Jason, David?
No.
No, sir.
Oh, he's got like targets set up at like 100, 250, 300, 350, 400, 500, like 600 yards, and he has to make like 2 hits on each target, and then I think 1 hit on the last target. And he does practical accuracy with all different types of guns. And the last shot for they did a Mauser Car 98. I think the last shot was at 1,000 yards with the iron sights. So and the other guy films with a spotting scope. Like he has like a phone hooked up to a spotting scope that he can record with. And 9-hole reviews. It's a pretty awesome channel. I'm sure people in the chat have seen it.
Another interesting thing they tested on Hollywood Weapons was the whole can you hide behind a horse trough and not get hit? A horse trough will stop just about every caliber they put into it. They were using from Old West style weapons. They used 45-70, 45 Colt, and a couple other different calibers, and it stopped every one of them.
Nice.
In another episode, they tested the shoot the rope that's hanging somebody. You know, they cut them down. That whole myth.
Hang 'em high?
Yeah, no, I'm not. It wasn't hang 'em high. It was
No,
good,
it was,
bad, and the ugly.
yeah, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, but I mean that was specifically the one they were testing where he was using the rifle to shoot the rope, and nope, couldn't do it. Could not do it. He hit the rope one time, and the rope started swinging so much, even with the dummy hanging on the bottom to try and weigh that rope down, and that rope was just swinging so much he couldn't even hit it a second time.
How heavy was the dummy? Was it the same weight as a human?
Yeah, it was about human weight.
So it would have to be like a 1 in a million shot to do it.
Yeah. Well, he hit it square the first round. He hit it square the first shot. The guy, what's his name? Terry Shafford. He's a former special forces operative. He's done sniper type operations and whatnot when he was in special forces and that kind of thing. He's a very good shot. He hit the rifle. He hit with a 45-70 rifle. Very first shot. I think it was 45-70. Hit the rope. Afraid it a little bit, but that rope started swinging so much he could not get a bead to hit that rope a second time.
Yeah. Was it the same type of rope they would have used back then?
Yeah, they do everything at period-wise. Larry did you see the episode where Hank Strange had Larry Zanoff on there? The guy that does the property. He's the property master out there in California. The one Property House. He works on the show with them. He's the one that supplies all their weapons and equipment and stuff.
The biggest flaw to testing the shooting the rope with a hanging person from it is you can't test it with a person hanging from it. Because anybody who's hanging is going to be kicking back and forth if they're still alive. So that rope is never going to be like taught to get the first shot off in the first place. Not to mention the fact that if you miss and you shoot the person that's hanging, then you kind of...
Yeah, they try to get it as realistic as they can. I mean, there's certain things, like you said, if somebody's moving around and everything, they're going to be moving that rope. But that rope's still going to be taut because the way the rope hangs, your body weight's still going to be pulling on that rope. Problem is, you're going to be swinging that rope. So it's not necessarily that the rope's not going to be taut. It's not going to be stable. It's not going to be sitting in one place.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to say. You're right.
Damn
Wouldn't it
it,
be-
David. You're ruining my fantasy.
I'm sorry, guys.
Wouldn't it just be easier to shoot the hangman?
Well, you're going to have a whole lot of people to shoot.
Yeah, but see, the good guy in the movie never runs out of ammo and they never miss. Now prove that wrong. Bruce Willis is the best shot ever.
And what, Last Man Standing or some movie? What was that movie that he was in?
Yeah, that was one of them. The one with him and Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I like
there-
the Quick and Dead.
The
That'd be-
18 was like a word on that one, though, about how the good guys never miss.
That'd be
Nobody
a
ever
movie
gets shot in the 18.
That'd be a movie I'd like to watch with all you guys, so you could tell me what all these old guns and stuff that you see on is the Quick and the Dead.
That's a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got some gun scrubber again. Yay.
Alrighty. Well, I was trying
What
to
do you-
catch up on what the chat, what they're talking about in the chat, 'cause they're talking about different mags and stuff. So.
What do you use to clean your guns with, Rupan? Like the chemical or the actual agent, not like brushes and pads and stuff.
My favorite thing in the world is the little buttstock kits come with that little stuff. The Otis buttstock kits from the military. But in my experience, the Otis CLP stuff is not the same, and I don't like it. But right now, I tried the Rem oil for a little while, not bad. I've been trying the Lucas CLP. It's fun. It works great, and it's good to have like a scrubber or the Rem oil, the Rem Action cleaner that speeds things up a little.
I just use CLP.
And don't forget
If you talk to a lot of military guys, you're going to find we just use CLP. I mean, that's just what you get issued, and I think we're just used to using it. What do you think about that, Rupan? Is that why we all just use CLP because we're used to it?
right here, man. This is one of them. This is Army issue right here. I love this stuff right here, but the problem is the buttstock kits are expensive, and as far as I can tell, you only get it in buttstock kits, and their new formula crap I don't like. But oh well.
Yeah, I just use the I've got a Rem oil spray, and then I've got those like little wipes and stuff like that. Looks like you got right there.
Yeah, that works. At the range,
Remember what CLP I have? I'll have to go look.
if I'm using something corrosive, I'll keep the bore. I keep the bore snakes with me at the range, in case if I got to hit it quick before I leave the range or something. Hit it with some water. But aside from that, just usually, I mean, for years I only used CLP. I didn't even use anything else. Didn't even use a cleaner. But yeah, I like the cleaner. It speeds things up.
I've been using this stuff called Butch's Bore Bright. If I'm cleaning a rifle up, putting it away for a while, or my Mosin, man, it really does a number on you cleaning out. I mean, it'll take old dark bore and make it shiny again.
That sounds pretty good. I wonder if that's the stuff that Cycle Camp uses when he buys all those rifles.
My wife took all my gun cleaning stuff upstairs, so she's upstairs sleeping, so I'm not going up there to get it right now.
Yeah, I think it could be a bad maneuver.
Yes, that would not be a good idea. And there goes my shuffle.
They said in the chat that CLP stinks. Does it stink bad? Does it smell good like Hoppies does?
He may have been referring to stink as in sucks. Not sure.
No, he said Ballistol CLP stinks. Ballistol
Ooh,
stinks.
that's the fun stuff.
Ballistol is not very good smelling stuff.
I really liked using that. I have bought a can. It was expensive on Amazon, and I used that for a little while. I liked it. But this, it pissed off everybody in the house. It got me in trouble. This Lucas stuff you can get at the auto parts store. It doesn't stink terrible. But yeah, I got in trouble quite a few times with the boss. What are you doing? The whole house stinks. What are you doing?
But you know what? If you watch all of Rob Ski's videos where he's doing all those AK tests, all he's using is CLP. I'm telling you, it's a military thing.
Yeah, well, military, they also, we clean the guns every friggin' day. Hey, Walsh, before you go to lunch, you need to go get a takeaway meal, come back to the company so you can watch the guns for no reason.
Yeah, I think we're just ingrained to use CLP. It's just beaten into your psyche. I don't care if you get discharged from basic training. By the time you've done some range time, you've gotten CLP beaten into your head. That's like the Army's go-to. The Army's three go-tos are CLP, Tylenol, and ibuprofen. CLP cleans everything, and Tylenol and ibuprofen treat anything that ails you.
That and a fresh pair of socks.
Yep.
Don't forget that. That is correct. All right, here we go. That one thing that sucked though is they give you the cord kit, the pull through cord. I got it right here. Actually, I have the actual cord they issued me. Here we go. Put the camera on. They give you this cord, and it works great if you're just cleaning one gun that has a 14 3/4 inch barrel. Works good on other guns, but if you're cleaning 10 guns or however many I get right here, it's nice to have the rod.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're just cleaning one gun and it's in your lap, for the longest time I used to clean guns on the floor because that's what I was used to doing, and cleaning them on a table was wrong. You just hold the gun in your hands and like an animal and sit in the corner of the room and clean it. I've graduated. And if you think that, what is it, when people in the Army use the rods, they use that older rod setup, people run it back and forth to the barrel like they're madmen. When you're supposed to just push it through or whatever, so that way you don't drag all the crud through your barrel. But in the Army, if you give someone rods, they're just going to ram it. They don't care. And usually the unit armor, I've said this before, the unit armorers are usually drunk and don't care either. So stuff gets very, very misused and not properly.
So if you damage your weapon, do you get, KP duty and all that stuff, or is it just, okay, here's another one, give me that broken one, here's another one?
If they can pin it on you, then you're getting a statement of charges.
Yeah, I mean, not something broke and it was, but like you were saying, you're jamming the cleaning rod down the barrel and you mar it up, or you damage it, or you don't clean it properly and it malfunctions. Something where it's clearly your fault.
A lot of times they might just let it go, but if you really screwed something up, then yeah, you're getting a statement of charges, and probably you might get under Article 15, or they might just punish you, make you do something stupid. But
As long as you're using a brass rod, you shouldn't have that issue anyway. If you're using a steel rod, you run into issues. But most
Yeah.
cleaning rods, they're gonna be brass.
And a lot of people don't care. You know, I used to when I used to clean the 249, I used to just take the whole feed tray apart because you're not supposed to take it apart. What is it? That wasn't operator level or whatever. I didn't care. Like I could shave 20 minutes off cleaning it if I just pulled all the feed pawls apart and took them all out. So sometimes people don't care, but I don't know. It all depends. Yeah, but they don't really do a good job. Like basic rifle marksmanship in the army, even though I was the combat arms, like they don't really spend time and teach you a lot. No, at least not anymore. They need you in and out of there quick.
But if you're worried in your own personal firearms, David, just use brass cleaning rods or snakes or something like that. The steel cleaning rods are the ones that you got to worry about. And if you're using a steel cleaning rod, you generally want to go through the chamber down the bore nut from the bore downward. That way you don't have to worry about messing up your bore or anything.
I've never even seen a steel cleaning rod.
Yeah, I use the brass ones, but
Yeah, there's people that there are steel cleaning rods. If you watch Cycle Camp's video that he just did on the SMLE that he Grenadier rifle that he got, he talks about how he has the steel cleaning rod that he uses because it's one of those segmented ones you can make it all kinds. It's easy. You could use it for the carbine length up to full old mil serp rifle lengths.
Oh, I always thought
barrel.
I always thought those older steel, like if you're talking like an old steel rod, I always thought those were for like knocking out a.
No. These are segmented cleaning rods. That, I think he said he picks them up off of eBay. They're like the brass segmented rod, but they're steel.
Yikes!
And yeah, and if you're using a steel cleaning rod, you want to go from the rear, not the front.
My cleaning rod's like aluminum, so.
all right. So if you only had one choice, cleaning rod, bore snake, what's it going to be? Roof hand, go.
Oh, cleaning rod. The bore snake is just for the range.
Rich?
I would probably go with one of those universal cleaning kits with the cleaning rod because it can be used in multiple calibers. Bore snake, you're only going to use it for the caliber that it's made for. If you're carrying a 9mm pistol and an AR-15, you're not going to clean both of them with the same bore snake.
Jason?
Just your cheap, inexpensive little kits from Hoppies is what I get from my dealer. I just get a whole bunch of them. Steel rod, aluminum rod.
Cool.
I have problems with them, though. If the patch is just a little too big, you just can't get it down my AR. It's just too big.
What size patches are you using?
Whatever just comes with the kit. They're supposed to be 22s, but I run out of those, and I just grab some of the smaller patches I got. If I got like the cotton ones, I just can't get them down the barrel. But if I got like the real thin paper kind, they work. I just run through like 100 of them at a time.
Nice.
Yeah, you can always, if you got patches that are too big, you can always trim them down. It's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, that's what I kind of do. I kind of break out some scissors and cut them a little bit. But as they come out of the packs that I get, man, they just won't fit down a 223.
Yeah, someone was asking, why use a steel cleaning rod? Isn't that more likely to damage the barrel than aluminum or brass? You're more likely to damage the bore if you don't do it right. When you're using a steel cleaning rod, you want to remove the bolt from the rifle and you want to go down the chamber with it, instead of coming down the bore towards the chamber, you want to go chamber to bore. That way you're not risking having the end of that cleaning rod smacking against your bore and messing up your bore diameter. Yeah, exactly, the crown.
All right.
Too hotty.
Here's another question for the panel. Do you guys lubricate your triggers? Jason, go.
Yeah, I lubricate mine.
Rich White,
I just lubricate everything.
Okay, what?
do you put lubrication on your triggers?
On the trigger itself? The
Like
trigger itself or the
Or the
internal?
mechanism, not like the actual blade you put your finger on,
Okay.
but the inside.
Okay, that's why I
part.
wanted to clarify. That's why I wanted to clarify. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
You want to give that a light coat of oil. I mean, anything that moves, a little bit of lubricant isn't going to hurt.
Mr. Rupan?
I use this stuff right here from the trigger. I use grease usually on the triggers.
No, is that like a grease or is that more like a Vaseline? Like what kind of substance is that?
It's kind of more Vaseline-y or like a bacitracin.
Okay, like an ointment type of deal.
Yeah, that's what. But it's a grease for the. A lot of people use it on triggers and stuff.
Yeah, I put grease on. I got a Ruger Mini 14 too. Its hammer like rubs on the bolt or something. It gets a lot of wear on it. And when I first got it and I looked up how to take it apart and clean it, they said grease that, not to use oil on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up that same video because I haven't shot my Mini 14 in probably a month or two, and I haven't cleaned it in the entire year or so that I've owned it. So I definitely got to blast that apart.
One thing you got to think about with grease is you got to think about the time of the year and the temperature as well. If it gets cold, I mean really cold, and you're out there shooting in range when it's really cold, that grease can get to be really gunky and gum up the works. So you gotta be in cold weather. You want pretty much when you want to stick to oil. Warmer weather, grease is fine.
I've only seen that with one gun be a problem, a roller lock gun.
Yeah,
my AR last winter, not the winter we just had, but the winter before that. I guess it would have been 2017 winter. We went to the range every single weekend, and whether there was snow on the ground, it didn't matter. We were always there. And my AR started to freeze up. I think it was probably like 7 degrees, 10 degrees or something outside. And it was dirty and it had zero oil on it. And you could see the gun just seizing up because it was so cold. A few quick squirts of oil and it fired great.
Oh wow! I clean mine every time I use it, and I go during the winter all the time. I've never had it freeze up on me.
Yeah, we were there. To be fair, we were there for like 3.5 hours before it actually happened. So it wasn't like we just got to the range and were actively firing.
Yeah, you were like leaving it out there.
Yeah.
Like I said, it depends on the temperature. You get below a certain temperature, and the depending on the type of grease you're using, that stuff can get it starts to solidify what's happening, and then it can cause issues. So to always, if you're using grease before using in cold weather, make sure on the label it has a temperature range and what that temperature range is for using it.
Back to those bore snakes. Do they get your hands all dirty when you use them, or can you like throw it in the washing machine and clean it?
You can throw it in a washing machine. You can throw it in a dishwasher.
But does it get your hands dirty though when you're using it?
Oh, anything you're using to clean your rifle is going to get, or pistol's going to get your hands dirty. But basically, what they do is they have a little weighted ball on the end. You drop that down the barrel, and then you pull it through using that weight.
Plus, you can grab a box of nylon gloves from the grocery store or Walmart. For a couple bucks, you can get 100 pair of gloves.
Oh, I bought a bore snake. Said it was for an AR, I never even opened it. It's just got its own little pack and case. And I guess you use the case itself as like a handle, like a pull handle.
Oh, nice.
But I
Yeah.
have it's like from Hoppies or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
there's
probably
different
$20
brands that make
or
them.
less. But I
Yeah,
never
there's
used
different brands that make them. It just depends on what brand, how the method they have for pulling through. But generally, they have a weighted end. That's the end you put on the bore, and then you just pull it through.
Yeah, that's awesome because my AR bore snake is a pain in the ass. You got to be wearing a glove to pull through, otherwise you ain't getting it through.
Yeah,
So
the only one I
that's-
have is the only one I have is for my 40 pistols. I don't have any of those bore snakes.
I've
I
never
usually
even
keep
used
them.
one.
Oh, dang. I usually keep them in case if something goes wrong at the range or something starts going screwy. Then I can just, instead of bringing a whole cleaning kit, I can just pop that through real quick and see if it does anything.
The range that you go to, is it usually pretty busy, or are you oftentimes like the only one there? Like, how's it working as far as the crowd?
You talking to me, David, or?
Oh, yes, sir. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, it's busy as hell almost the whole day today. That's why they're splitting the range up into 3 different ranges. That way they can. We used to have to wait. Oh, it was terrible. But yeah, busy the whole time.
So, do you have multiple lanes shooting down range like next to each other, or can you take one shot and walk down range and then come back, take one shot, walk down range, or is it like ceasefire time? How does that work?
Ceasefire time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They finally put in like an alarm system now, so that way no one shoots you while you're downrange. So
Yeah. If you're firing one shot and somebody else is firing multiple shots, you don't want to disrupt what they're doing to go downrange. You just have to wait till the all clear's given.
yep, and they used to make us fire 1 center fire round per magazine. So then, for some reason, they say it's 5, even though the rules still say 1. And they want you to slow fire. So, which is fine, I guess. It's not a big deal, especially if you're 0 and stuff. But sometimes it would be nice to run like a couple rounds through a mag.
Yeah, to be able to, I mean, just for fun of it and for see how your accuracy is and all that different kind of stuff. Like my range, there's a whole lot of rules and regulations at my range that basically it's all you can do is point and pull.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they put them all in place because people were being idiots, but the people
Yeah.
who are being idiots are still being idiots. So I don't know.
Well, the biggest flaw to my range is it's a county run range. So there's not only, your basic rules and regulations, but then you got your county and state regulations and insurances and all these different kinds of things. So like you can't holster your weapon there. I mean, if you got a carry permit, you can, but for me to go over to the pistol range and put my gun in a holster and draw from the holster, yeah, you can't do that either. It's paper targets only. It's a good place to go. It's fun especially for all the people that are there. But you're not going to be able to shoot steel or put ballistics gel out or anything cool like that, and you're definitely not going to be able to do any double taps unless you want to get asked to leave.
Yeah, that's why my range footage always sucks because there's always people at my range and I can't like set things up because people get all bent out of shape. And apparently, some guy down the Cape, some kid borrowed his dad's full auto AK and went to the range and just was walking, firing, and a bunch of rounds left the range.
Wow.
So apparently, that's everybody's. Just like the mass shooters, it's everybody's fault now.
You'll have to look up Rich White. I don't know if you're familiar with where Owings Mills is here near where I live at.
I got a general idea.
They my friend's wife showed me some post on Facebook or somewhere on the internet where they're supposed to be building the country's largest indoor range. So
Nice.
if that happens, you'll definitely have to come down and check it out.
my closest range is closed for reconstruction. It's probably not going to be done this year. It's already been a couple years, but it's supposed to be like a $7 million project when it's done. They got pictures. It's supposed to have some real nice buildings and just first class. But they're they've had problems with like the EPA and inspections and stuff. But hopefully, before too long, they'll get going. But it was supposed to have been done last year, and they're still not even started any buildings. They're just moving dirt.
Do you live in the type of
Here, David, we can go to the Milo range at the range I belong to.
Do you live in the type of neighborhood, Jason, where you can kind of basically shoot in your backyard or walk across the street to the woods and shoot, or are you like in the middle of suburban neighborhood?
I'm in a regular city, but my best friend and he's my employee too. He lives just 5 minutes away, and he's like one of the first roads that is county property, and he's got 3 or 4 acres. It's mostly woods, and that's where we kind of just shoot everything, hang out there. That's where my coyote problem's at. We got cameras, and because he's trying to catch deer all the time, just the pictures of them. And they've had coyotes for years, and there's been a lot on there. The last time that we pulled the card out and looked at the pictures, we were trapping them last year, and it was like one trap was getting them the most, and his wife was upset about traps out there, and then the grass grew up and he didn't know where the traps was, so she didn't want us doing traps this year.
Yeah, damn.
You kind of live in the suburbs, right, Rupan? Or do you live out in the middle of nowhere?
No, I live in Metro north of Boston there.
Okay.
So, yep.
I miss my backyard range.
Yeah, I was telling my mom the other day that the older I get, the more I wish I still lived in, my childhood neighborhood. That was awesome.
I got to do some work on our shooting area. Had 2 or 3 wooden backstops, just layers and layers and layers of decking wood and stuff, and we've just chewed them all up. We went out last month or so, and we had to combine and make a pile and take everything we had just to make one spot because everything's just chewed up.
Nice. Sounds like you guys had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to shoot my P320 for the first time. I'd had it a few months without shooting it. I liked it a lot.
We've talked about it before, but which one do you have?
I got the full size 9mm,
Okay.
and then I got the M17.
Yeah, I got the full size 45, and then today at the range, my friend was testing out his friend's what do they call it? Carry size, I guess. The 40. Those things are nice. I like the P320s.
I used to have a 250 and I liked it, but I ended up trading it for an AK.
That sounds like a pretty good trade to me, though.
Especially in this state. I did it before the crazy stuff. Yeah, the guy just like, I think the guy thought the AK wasn't accurate, and he gave me like a load. It was a 5.56 Chinese AK. And he gave me like a load of ammunition, like 300 rounds of ammo, and it was all Wolf. And he was like, "Yeah, the gun isn't that accurate." And I put some expensive rounds in there, and it was fine. So I was like, of course, it's not accurate if you're using like the cheapest ammo they sell at the store. Like, well, it's not that it's not accurate; it's just not consistent.
Right. Yeah.
People don't understand accuracy. They think that all rifles have to be .5 MOA. They don't get that militarily, an accurate rifle is up to 4 MOA. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, 4 MOA rifle in the military, that's an accurate M16, M4 right there,
I think, at least from my experience, from when I first started shooting, my problem with understanding accuracy was not understanding groups. Like,
Not understanding precision.
yeah, because I was at the range today, and this friend of mine had his friend with him, and he's not really all that familiar with handguns, but he was shooting and he wasn't hitting the bullseye, but everywhere that he was missing, he kept missing in the same place, so he was getting nice groups. And I was trying to explain to him the difference between hitting the bullseye right now when you're learning how to shoot and keeping the gun basically in the same area. You're pointing in the wrong area, but you're consistently pointing in the wrong area. So you can be worked with, you know what I mean? So I was trying to explain it to him so he could understand the difference between like hitting the
Accuracy and
bullseye,
precision.
yeah, hitting the bullseye and every bullet going through the same hole, or putting 3 or 4 rounds in the size of a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had to change his point of aim, and he would have been master man.
Yeah, he didn't understand how to line up the sights on a pistol. You know, because he never. The only time he's ever shot a pistol, he's just in his buddy's backyard, just bang, bang, bang. You know.
I love when you get the guy who's like never fired something before, and you're in the range, and he like outshoots you.
Oh, today was great. You know, I got to take my boss's son and his buddy to the range, and they got to fire a whole bunch of stuff and spend a whole bunch of time checking out everybody else's gun that was there and sitting on everybody else's lane shooting. And my
Nice.
range buddy brought his friend, and he had never shot bolt action 223. I had a couple ARs with me. My friend had his three, so he had all kinds of different rifles. So everybody in like the first 5 lanes was just sitting at everybody else's lane, shooting everybody else's gun all day. It was fantastic.
Now, when you guys go to the range, do you take like a shitload of different guns, or you just take a couple, and or does it depend on what you're doing, like breaking in a new one or changing something, or do you just take a whole bunch of stuff and just have at it?
It depends on what I'm doing. Like the last time my wife and I went to our range, we took a bunch of new stuff that we hadn't shot yet to break it in. Time before that, we took some old stuff that we took just to have fun shooting. It just depends on what we're doing.
For me, it depends on if I'm going by myself, then I'll take maybe 2 rifles and 2 handguns, just something I feel like shooting that day. Uh, if I'm going with somebody, like 2 weeks ago, I went with somebody who's never shot a gun before at all. So I took basically everything that I had with me, you know. But I'm not going to take everything that I got with me every single time I go to the range, unless, of course, there's a new person there.
Yeah, the last time we went, we took Taurus G2C, because I had just gotten that. We took the M&P 2.0 compact, because I had just gotten that not that long before that and hadn't got a chance to fire it yet. We took the Heritage Rough Rider because just had gotten that. We got that the same day we got the G2C. I got the G2C. And then I hadn't had a chance to fire the Henry yet, so we took the Henry 22 as well. Those were all brand new firearms that hadn't been fired yet.
Nice. Yeah. Today I went nuts. I've gone nuts in the past before. I gotta stop taking this heavy amount of stuff because I never want to clean it at the end of the day. So
Yeah,
I
that's
try
kind
not to
of
do
what
it.
I was getting at. You know, do you do you do you take so many that once you come home that night, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I wish I hadn't. You
Well, I
know.
mean, my thing is I zeroed everything that I took with me. I zeroed the Ruger Precision, zeroed the RH-10, zeroed the BIN 180, zeroed the 9mm, zeroed the 7.62 39. So, but it's kind of crazy to do that because I agree it's not wise.
I got home today from the range and got to clean 6 handguns, and I still got 3 rifles sitting here waiting to be cleaned.
Yeah, I'm not the best for cleaning stuff. I don't always clean my firearms right away. Just I never have been.
I always do a day one cleaning but I usually never make it past the day 1 cleaning. Sometimes I'll do a day 2. Usually never, though. Day 1 is like the initial cleaning. Like, you throw a bunch of oil on it, scrub it up, wipe it off, call it a day.
Yeah, your initial lubrication.
Well, no, I mean, I do a clean, too. I run
No,
a...
I was joking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's like an initial clean in the Army. They call it day 1 cleaning. I never really get past that anymore. Because I'm not crazy. I'm not going to sit here and pull guns out every day and clean them every day. But and people end up like looking at me like there's too much. Yeah, people look at me like I'm crazy though. Like I'll go to the gun store, I'll go somewhere, and they'll be like, "You put too much CLP in your gun," and it's like, "Well, I did day 1 cleaning. Like, what do you want from me? Like, you go nuts with the CLP, you wipe it all up, and there's still a crap load left in there, and when you get to the range next time, you wipe it off before you go live." Well, that's too much. Too much. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to screw things up.
I took that Colt AR apart the other day, and when I pulled the firing pin out, I thought I had a black firing pin. And so I set it off to the side and finished busting the whole thing apart, so I got it completely torn apart. And then I went back and picked up the firing pin, and it was kind of like sticky, so I grabbed my rag and wiped it off, and it was definitely not a black firing pin.
Oh, nice.
This gun was so filthy. I just bought it maybe 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and I'd never taken it apart or shot it very often. So I decided I was going to rip it apart and clean it, and oh my gosh, the thing looked like somebody pumped axle grease in it.
Well, carbon is a lubricant, right?
Right.
Yeah, carbon's a solid lubricant. Graphite is a lubricant. Graphite's what? Carbon.
Carbon, yeah. It's a couple different types of bonds. Well, there's some primary bonds and there's some van der Waal bonds. When you're talking about graphite, and it holds the graphene together at the molecular level. The reason I know that is because they're talking about using graphene to purify water. They've separated the. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, charcoal. Charcoal water filters.
Oh no, they're talking about like making something you can, like, send to Africa and give everybody free fresh water from the ocean.
Yeah, but the ones you hook up to your sink, they use charcoal in them. With charcoal's carbon. Carbon is a very useful mineral.
Yeah.
No, you guys want to
it's
gear?
Don't you think it's kind of odd though? And this might just be, my tinfoil hat conspiracy thinking, but humans have been around for a really, really long time, and we still haven't found a way to economically desalinize ocean water.
You realize most of Saudi Arabia's water supply is from desalinization plants.
Yeah, but
it's not
an
expensive, complicated
process. It's not something that you can go to Walmart and scoop up a bucket full of salt water and drink it.
Well, you need a power supply to do it. That's the problem. It's not necessarily that. That's the problem with power that you generated. You're not going to generate the power in your house to run a desalinization plant. But if you look at most naval vessels, they're using desalinization plants to get their fresh water on board the ship, and they're using nuclear power to do it, like with your aircraft carriers and stuff. So it's not as hard as what some people make it out to be. You just need a big enough power supply. And we lost Rupan. Anyway, I know you don't have any kids, right, David?
No children.
You have any kids, Jason?
No, I had stepkids, but I got divorced.
Oh.
Well, still love them though.
That I was going to talk about guns we could use to, for kids, but that went out the window, I guess. Unless you guys want to.
all the step kids that I have are all completely grown. They're not kids at all.
Did you work with them with firearms at all?
Not really. I didn't really get into buying more firearms till after I got divorced. But we had a couple at the house. We had a couple real nice high points.
I was going to say, if you're looking for something, this is a really nice firearm for getting kids started with. I don't know if you've ever. This is the Heritage Rough Rider. This one just happens right now to have the 22 Magnum cylinder in it.
My best friend has one just like that, and it has a hair trigger on it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
oh gosh, you have to really be careful with it.
Yeah, the trigger in this is boom, barely pull the trigger and it goes off. Now you shouldn't. Usually you shouldn't dry fire a rim fire, but this has a hammer block safety, so you can do it every so often. Don't continuously do it, but just I'm gonna do it once just to show just how the trigger on this. I mean, that is super light trigger on this.
Yeah, the one I've shot of his, it did have just a super light trigger. I mean, I shot shots that went 5-6 feet left or right by the target because I wasn't even lined up on the target yet. And that gun went off.
Too hot, he says. Don't use guns on kids. That's frowned upon.
Oh, God.
He's not wrong.
Just because you're not wrong doesn't mean you should say it.
Yeah, my ex got her income tax check one time, and her and a son-in-law went out to the store and came back with 2 high points. Didn't talk to me or ask me about it or nothing. And I don't even think I ever shot. They went shooting one day when I wasn't there, but I was just on the kick of, you should have bought something better.
Yeah. High Point's not all that bad. They're not as bad as what they used to be. I mean, and if you run out of ammo, they make a great club.
I'm gonna buy one sooner or later, just because the High Point factory is like a half hour away from me, and I'll just pick one up sometime just for giggles, I kind of like they got like a 380. It's kind of got like some silver on the slide. Kind of looks a little better.
Yeah. The funny thing about this Heritage Rough Rider, it matches my Henry perfectly. You were in the chat when we compared them, weren't you, David? It matches my Henry rifle perfectly.
Oh, right, yeah. You know what would be internet gold, though, Jason, is if you could get a guided tour of the High Point factory and put it on your channel. That'd be awesome.
Oh, I know. If I could grow my channel big, I'd be a shill for High Point. I'd go right in their pocket, boy.
I'm gonna buy one of them. I like my friend's got the 40 cal carbine, and I love that gun. He put a scope on it, and we couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it. You take the scope off and go back to the factory sites, and bang, bang, bang. Then he put another scope on it, and we couldn't hit anything. We took it apart one day and didn't know how to take it apart or put it back together. So a couple of screws are missing out of the top, like sight section, and it's still accurate, right? Bang, bang. I mean, it's perfect. You put a scope on it, and you can't hit nothing with it, though.
Huh.
Group fans, if you read talking about guns for the youth with children, you got anything that you're planning on teaching your son with?
Sometimes when you put a scope on, it's really far off if the rail isn't right or something. And you gotta have to throw like a bore scope on it or something, so you can figure out where the hell you're hitting, and so you're also not shooting out of your range. But Was it so kid-friendly firearms?
Yeah, you got anything that you were that you have that you were planning to use to teach your kids?
Oh yeah, I got the that Arctic Warfare Magnum copy that's in 22. The is it Keystone Arms? They sell like it looks like an Arctic Warfare Magnum, but it's actually a 22 long rifle or 22 short,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got no magazine, and you have to manually recock the striker each time, and it's a bolt gun.
Yeah.
It's in my safe right. I can't get it out right now, but it's great. I had my 6-year-old use it, and I know everybody gets mad because you're going to teach your 6-year-old on a scope. Well, I don't really care. It's hard for me to get to the range myself. Who? We getting yelled at?
Yelling at the cat. My wife is yelling at the cat.
Oh, I thought she was yelling at me, but well, anyways, so the kid, I had my 6-year-old shooting, and I zeroed the gun myself ahead of time. It's on video. It's one of my videos, and my son absolutely loved it. He's 6, so I took him there, had him fire, 10 rounds out of it. Super excited. Oh, I was hitting the target, and it's like the video game. Yeah, sure, bud. Great job.
So what is there? Is there like some type of controversy about teaching a kid how to use the scope?
Well, he doesn't know how to use iron sights, so that's the controversy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's basically the same. It's the same principle. Line up the scope or line up the iron sight. I don't see why that would be a problem.
Rich, you want to chime in?
I have no problem with it. I mean,
I
No,
mean,
you're
guys
going to
who
run
do have a
into
problem.
these.
I'm true
old
to the iron
buddy
sight.
dudes.
I think shooting a gun with the iron sight is the best. I will put scope on my gun. I don't have a problem with scopes, but that's as far as I go. Like I'm not doing any of the reticles and red dots and all this other fancy kind of stuff. But I don't think there's a problem teaching a kid how to use a scope.
Whatever's going to be fun, you want to make it fun for them. I mean, if they're sitting there and they're struggling with iron sights, they're not going to have fun.
Well,
You
that's
can work
exactly
on
what I
iron
see.
sights later. You want to get them to where they're wanting to do it first.
Yeah, if I got to teach a 6-year-old iron sights in 10 minutes, I'm going to be screaming at him. So I put him on the scope. In 10 minutes, we were out. It was freezing that day. It was like 20 degrees. So that's a negative already. But he had fun. I saved the target. Yay, great. We went. Oh, that was cool, Dad. Thanks. Too easy. I agree. We'll teach them. If they're interested, then they'll be learning the iron sights. You bet. But there's nothing like a nice set of GI sights. But I'm not really a pistol sight kind of guy, though.
Yeah. And in case anybody's wondering, the reason why my wife was yelling is apparently one of the cats went and stole one of the hot dogs that she had made for dinner.
Are you sure she wasn't yelling at me about iron sights?
No.
Damn, this 9mm is so dirty. It's like this barrel must be like borderline ruined. Jesus.
So are you going to be working with them with a handgun at all?
Well, no, I'm just cleaning the 9mm upper, and it's really just dirt just keeps coming out of it.
Okay, but I didn't ask you about that. Your son, are you going to be working with him with a handgun at all?
Oh yeah, I got to get like a P22 or something. But I mean, for right now, no. But later on, yeah.
This would be a good one to start him with. I'm telling you, these are nice.
I don't think that's on my list. I got to check to see my state handgun list.
The 22 rimfire wouldn't be on the list.
No, there's a specific list. So the company has to submit. The gun for there's all sorts of shit. The gun has to meet the Attorney General's regulations, a separate list, and then the company has to submit 3 versions of the gun to an independent testing company in Massachusetts where they pretty much just perform the military standard of pistol drop testing.
Yeah, I'm sure they have one of the 22 single actions on that list. They would have to. You
It
would think, right?
works. It works
You
like
have the Heritage Rough Rider, the Ruger single six. I mean,
it
I
works.
know there.
could be on that list.
I know the LCR's on the list. A lot of
It
stuff
works.
isn't though. Oh, sorry, David.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. It works just like the handgun registry and the firearm registry roster here in Maryland, Rich.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, Rupan's is far more intrusive than the one we have here. All there is just a review board that goes over the features of the gun, and that's it. But if the company doesn't submit the new gun, then they have to wait until it just happens to come up, or a citizen or 500 citizens petition for that specific firearm.
these have been around for a while. I mean, it's not like they're new.
Yeah, it's still the same. Those lists, these lists are old, so they went back and preemptively, put a bunch of stuff on it, and then when they actually passed the bill for these type of registries or rosters, rather, then they add all the new stuff to it as they go.
Yeah, there's a bunch of crap on there that's not sold anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, if you can see this, I just put some new grips on this M9.
Nice. That's something I want to pick up, is one of those.
These are the aluminum ones from Beretta.
Let me present you so you're ready to see what you're doing here.
They got one for sale at my local gun shop, but the guy has bubbled it.
This is the Langdon M9. It had the thin plastic grips on it. These are the aluminum ones. I don't know if you can see it very well, but they feel a lot better. They're a lot thicker.
There's like too much light behind you.
Yeah, you're like silhouetted.
Well, you can take my word for it. This is beautiful.
If you could you hold it up in front of the cases behind you? Maybe get a better idea. You can see a little better there, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
It's got the decocker only on it.
Nice. That's something I'd like to pick up.
These Langdon tactical grips, they're all right. I just wanted something a little nicer.
Oh, I got a text message. Uh-oh.
I just know what time it is. I wonder if Midnight sent out his links yet.
Oh, did he?
No, not yet. That's what I wonder if he sent out one yet. No, I don't have a link yet. So. You never know when he might not send them. 10:30 or something. He's never consistent. He's one of those ones where you just got to keep looking at it, see if he has ones or not.
Yeah, I'll probably end up missing it because too many people would join.
Yeah, well, you've been on the show before. We'll be sitting there all of a sudden. Oh, thanks for a minute. We got to go. Bye, guys. That's usually the way this show ends.
Yep.
Everybody running off to go over on Midnight Show.
Yep.
Anybody else got anything they want to talk about?
Nothing in particular. 6.5 Creedmoor was a lot of fun to shoot. People were like, "Oh, it's a horrible, it's gonna kick you like a mule." Well, the Ruger Precision's like 10 pounds, and it was pretty lightweight with the brakes that comes factory on it. Mm-hmm. Not lightweight, but it wasn't beating me up really at all. Like, yeah, it's recoil, but it's not like, it's not like shooting, 40 rounds of 6.5 is not like shooting 40 rounds of 7.62 by 54R.
Yeah.
I got a screwed up neck, a screwed up back, and my shoulder's still like not right. So I can't be firing 7.62 54 all day. But the 6.5 wasn't bad.
I just lost my train of thought completely. That's been an epidemic this week. Everybody's been losing their train of thought. I was going to say something, I completely forgot what the hell it was.
Something about midnight?
No, something about midnight. And we mentioned the closer, and nobody did their toilet.
Oh.
Somebody
You didn't say the closer though. I can't just.
Did I not say the closer?
Yeah, nobody said closer yet.
Now you still haven't done it. So
Bah, whoosh.
there we go. You're going to be as bad as Night Strike now.
Yeah, but I can't give the flush sound every time somebody says Midnight's name. I'll be bawooshing all day long.
Well, Midnight hosts the closer, so I mean, come on.
Then I would go bawoosh.
What's really bad is Obnoxious sets Night Strike up when Night Strike is like nothing, no response whatsoever. He just sits there like twiddling his thumbs. Who knows? And yes, I'm going to pick on Night Strike because he didn't show up tonight. So he's not here to defend himself. So pick on him to your heart's content.
Uh-oh, you might end up in the same category as Flippy. Uh-oh. No. Night Strike was mad at Flippy the other night.
Well, hi, what did Flippy do?
Just pushing his buttons. I don't think he was doing anything that bad, but he wasn't on a never enough ammo chat, so he was sticking up for himself and getting really paid. He almost wound up some bitch of the week.
Flippy did?
No, Night Strike.
Oh.
He actually might have. I could be wrong. He might have. Midnight was in the chat, so we'll find out if he won.
Somebody was saying that I should win the other night. Who was that? Obnoxious' show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the one that voted for you.
That's one thing you don't want to do is be an illegal alien and whine. You're going to piss me off. Oh my God.
We live in the time of the Victim Olympics, so
I need to get me some of that victimhood.
I don't want to stay far away from it. Hey, this hammer's getting marred up. I wonder if that's a problem here. Oh boy, there's some weird cuts on this hammer. I think we're going up in the air now. We gotta go. Whoop. Since I rejoined, we should be seeing black right now. Let's swap the camera around. We're still seeing my head, right? Oh no, there we go.
No.
There's some weird cuts right there in the hammer.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good.
It's only on the sides, so maybe I'll file it down a little.
What's it hitting? Do you know?
The bolt carrier group and the 9mm.
Uh,
So this is the 9mm one. This one's got a bolt hold open, which is kind of cool. If it focuses, it's kind of cool. But so the bolt hold open, the Glock mag kicks this little guy up, and this guy's connected to the front of the right there, with a follower he would usually hit. It seems really, really crappy, but it works really well. I was very surprised.
Yeah, you definitely get some dings on that hammer. Let's say.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. We got a ding right there. So maybe that's what the problem was. At first, it wasn't working, and then after, I don't know, 40 shots maybe, and the second time I took it out after about 40 shots, it started running fine. Absolutely. I didn't bring a Lula loader or whatever, so
Yeah.
I was up Craps Creek there, but
The profile itself or something. Maybe.
yeah, I mean, this is a real crap hammer. This was the bargain bin hammer. I didn't even clean it when I threw it in there. I got an MFT stock I'm going to throw on here. This was a commercial tube. So I thought I had a correct stock, but I didn't. So I had to throw this guy on there. With that that Strike Industries thing. I thought this was the one with the spring-loaded pin on it, but I was very mistaken. That Castle Nut retaining pin there thing does not have the little locking pin that I thought it had, so I'm upset about that.
What's that red thing?
That's the I forget what it's called. It's the back plate. Usually it's flat,
Yeah.
and this is the Strike Industries version. There's a QD mount on the bottom, and I thought this was so. Strike has a plate where they have a Castle Nut and a little back plate here. And what it does is it has a spring-loaded plunger on it. So once you get it like 30 foot-pounds or whatever, it'll lock in place. So I thought this was that one, but I was mistaken.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're putting a muzzle brake on an AK. It's got that little pin that holds your muzzle brake in place. That's basically what that's doing, so that you don't have to stake the Castle Nut.
Yeah, and this is the JP 300 Blackout 9mm buffer, captured buffer. So that worked pretty well today. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. JP makes those buffers that are captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get it out with one-handed here because it's not like it is spring-loaded, but it stops right before that.
Yeah, according to Carl and Ian, you don't need to have the retention pin in there anymore if you're using one of those. You could just take that off.
Correct. And I was building it, and I asked the chat what they think I should do when I was building it. This thing, I built this in a knives chat, and I asked them what they think I should do, and they were like, "Yeah, leave it in." In all my other guns where there is pressure against it, I replaced them with the titanium ones. This is one of the ones that was taken out of the receiver that had the titanium one.
I really wouldn't worry about it. I mean, I would probably just take it out. It's not needed. It's not like your buffer is going to come flying out of there under spring tension like it would with standard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I usually use the rifle. I usually use rifle stocks. Let me get this up here. Usually using rifle, so it's not a big deal. I mean, I threw the titanium one in there, and that's not going anywhere. So, yeah, not bad. Pretty happy. I just kind of threw whatever random ass kit. I had like a random trigger. I had this random part. These were random pins. I just threw them in there. So it's like garbage pail stuff. So why not? It's fun. So there we go. Definitely had fun with it. Oh, I have an ARAC 21 upper coming. So I'll be able to put the BRN 180 versus the ARAC 21 versus the Adams Arms piston upper. So I want to do like a piston upper shootout.
That would be interesting.
It's probably going to be boring, but I mean, I don't know. I get what you're saying, but for us, it might be interesting. But if anybody else watches it, they're going to be like, "What the hell are these? Why did this guy film like a 5-minute video?" Well, people make fun of the Adams Arms one, but I like it. I like it more than the BRN 180. It's got a very easy to use gas system.
We're the ones out there watching Forgotten Weapons in range, Michiko. I mean, of course it's going to be interesting for us, right?
Oh yeah, that's us. My kids hate hearing when I like put YouTube on. All they hear is like, "Hi, I'm Ian from Forgotten Weather." They just go, "Ugh."
Hey guys,
both the kids.
Ian from Forgotten Weapons.
That guy's good, man.
We're out at the range with 8mm Bren gun.
I like that guy. He puts out some good stuff.
Me too. If they met Ian, they'd probably tell him to screw. Like, get out of here. You suck. You know? Our dad just plays you day and night. Leave. See in Arsenal too. I love it's harder though. Sometimes it's harder to get into the guns I don't care about at all. But because Ian's like, let's say even if it's not your bag, like it's over in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But if it's not your bag, you're looking at an hour episode with.
Yeah, but Messiah can go hour, 2 hours. He's done 3-hour videos. It's like
I've had fun though when like I made a meme and sent them a meme of Crozier. They did something about they named their thing Crozier, and I don't know, I made like a funny meme, and they actually messaged me laughing about my meme or whatever. That's my my happiness right there. But but yeah, no, I think it's an awesome. I loved Project Lightning. That was awesome. That was fun. If you haven't seen it, they take all of the World War I, quote unquote light machine guns, and they run them. Well, they were light machine guns for World War I, but they run them through like how viable are they compared, with today's standards? Like they pin them against each other, pretty much.
there's Midnight Blink.
Yep. Show's over, folks.
So,
You don't have to
Jason,
go home, but you can't stay here.
You back now, Jason?
Yeah. Oh, I've been here. I just hit mute so you don't hear me.
Okay. Well, I just saw you said you would be right back. You got anything you want to plug?
No, not really. Just plug all you guys.
You don't want
Tell
to
everybody to support all the e-beggars.
I was gonna say you don't want to plug that show you run on Saturday.
Well, yeah, you can go watch my channel, catch the replay of it. We were just having fun, but it was pretty good. We'll probably keep doing it, maybe.
Well, tell the folks what it is, man. They might not have got a chance to see it.
Oh, well, it was just a few of us. Kingpin got it all started a couple weeks ago, calling it New Voices. It's just the same old guys, and we're just going to get together and kind of talk about whatever.
And who all was on there? It was you,
Me and Seven Wonders, and the gun-toting pacifist, and the poor conservative.
all right. Kingpin, got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, check out Midnight Range on the closer.
Well,
Oh, shit.
yeah, I know how to hit up. I can hit Q.
There we go. No, thanks for having me, man. Always a good time talking to you guys.
Yep, no problem, David. Rupan, anything you want to plug real quick?
Yeah, we're gonna plug Tinchy Arizona has got a sub giveaway. Go check them out at the Angry Jackalope. Yeah, we're also gonna plug Hawaii Volcano Squad Monday nights. I think it's like 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
So check them out. Squibs on there and some other good guys. So yeah, thanks for having me, Rich. I appreciate you running the show, and it's awesome with Jason here and Kingpin as well.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Hell yeah.
You're welcome back anytime, Jason. Just let us know. Anything I can have, if I don't have your email, I can have Kingpin forward you the link again.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Thanks for answering questions when I ask them.
Yeah, no problem. Well, we do this for, And if there are any, all you guys out there, if you're interested in Wild West and stuff, check out the Arizona Ghost Riders channel. They do some really cool and entertaining stuff when it comes to Wild West things, as far as educational things about it. Talking about different firearms that were used, different styles of clothes that different classes of people in that would have wore. If you want to do a reenactment or a Halloween costume or something, they'll tell you how to do it realistically, where your costume will period accurate. They get to do some really, really cool stuff. So yeah, check out the Arizona Ghost Riders channel, guys. We got 33,000 subs, but they should have a lot more than that. I think it's 33,000, but they should have more subs than what they do. That channel is really good and it's well done. They really have good production values over there, and they film their stuff at Old Tucson Studios, which is where you actually see a lot of actual Hollywood westerns being filmed at. If you look up the Old Tucson Studios, there's a plethora of different movies that have been filmed there. Part of Tombstone was filmed there. Some John Wayne movies were filmed there. So yeah, check those guys out. So, and until next week, we will catch y'all later.
Bye.